Hello, this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video reading chapter 7 of Clockwork Chronicles, Hermit Outcry. We are going to be reading Bdubs' perspective. I don't know if I should consistently repeat these over and over and over and over. But yeah, how do you guys enjoy these so far? Do you like this? Do you like where this is going? Do you not like where this is going? Let me know. Yeah. So in the beginning, this is like a mini novel. It's not quite a novel. It's like 4,000 words away from being an actual novel. So, yeah, fun fact, it's almost novel size. Anyway, let's get into the video. Chapter 7, Bdubs. Bdubs woke up the next morning, feeling refreshed as he jumped out of bed, knowing full well that today was another day where they'd get one step closer to maybe stopping those men, or at least slowing them down. He walked out of his room and headed down the hallway when he stopped, hearing a voice nearby. Was it Jem? Unease filled him as he heard the tone of her voice. He followed in the sound, seeing that her bedroom door had opened a crack. Jem? Bdubs called out. The room fell silent before he heard footsteps approach the door as it opened. Her green eyes met his gray ones, wide and full of concern. Tango and Impulse were supposed to be here an hour ago, she said quickly, as she put away the communicator that she had been holding. They haven't shown, and I can't reach them. Do you think? He asked wearily. I don't know. I hope not, she said nervously. I feel like we have to check to see if they're okay. I think Messiah might be outside, Bdubs said simply. Did you try calling Tyler or Blake? Yeah, she said firmly. Their calls aren't connecting, or they're not answering. Come on, Bdubs gestured as they stepped out into the hallway. The both of them went to the stairs, going down them, as Jem went straight for the front door. Thais, where are you? Jem called out loudly. Bdubs glanced around the clearing, seeing the empty tree line. I'm right here, Thais said, as he rounded the corner, as Jem leapt into action. Impulse and Tango were supposed to be here an hour ago, and I haven't heard from them since last night, Jem said quickly. Blake and Tyler are also not answering. Thais frowned. I could have someone go check and see what's going on if you like. No, there's no time, especially if... She trailed off as she looked over at Bdubs. We don't know if they could be in trouble or not. The sooner we get there, the better chance that if something is happening, we can intervene. Very well. Let's see what's going on over there, the man replied simply, as Jem pulled out her fireworks. Mainly because I know you'll probably go anyway. The Hermits didn't say anything as they launched into the sky, going as fast as they could, as Jem led the way. Bdubs occasionally glanced over his shoulder, just in case there were any sign that the others were in fact okay. Still, there were no sign of life down below. As they arrived at Tango's base, Hermit swallowed, seeing the front door wide open, along with the mess inside. No, Jem said quietly as she rushed into the house, the Hermit following her. Tango, Impulse, where are you? The Hermit watched her examine the rubble of the wrecked kitchen, ceiling above, now in smithereens. If the men attacked here, they probably took them both, Bdubs said calmly. When did this happen? How did this happen? She asked. They were fine last night. A lot could happen in a short amount of time, they said from behind them, as Bdubs turned to face him, seeing the frown on his face. I can see if I can reach Blake or Tyler, or at least report to the other escorts about their disappearance. I hope they're okay, Jem admitted quietly, as she pulled back a piece to the ceiling, looking under it, only to find nothing. I just can't believe this happened. Why did no one call for help? Why didn't we hear anything? Maybe they weren't able to, Bdubs said calmly, as he walked over to her, putting a hand on her shoulder. Find them. I know we will. We have to, she said. She took a deep breath. I just can't understand how. It's happened before. The men like to work fast and overwhelm those they attack, Bdubs said simply. I would know. I'm sure you do too. I do, she nodded quietly, rubbing away a few tears from her eyes. And we need to do something. She hesitated before adding, Let's go back to my base, and we can come up with something. Maybe see if Grian can come over and help out. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Bdubs nodded. We can start with the bases we know and see if we can narrow it down where they might have been taken. She smiled and nodded, taking her racket as she went to the door, the hermit following her. I'm not sure how much time we have. The sooner we do this, the better chance we have. Bdubs nodded, with a reassuring smile, as they launched into the sky, right behind her. Matthias followed, just behind them. He didn't have to look back to know that. The escort was smiling. The two groups could work together to figure this out, and maybe find their friends and get them out before anything terrible happened to them. He had to hope. The two of them arrived back at Jem's base as she scrambled into the house, startling Pearl, who was just taking out a brewing stand, and she was interrupted. What's going on here? She asked in surprise. Mr. A's men took Tango and Impulse last night, Jem said quickly. Bdubs and I were going to see if we could come up with a plan of how to find them. How did that happen? She asked calmly. Tango's base is one of the most secure ones out there. Probably a similar way they did with Mumbo, Bdubs pointed out. Tango's secret tunnel was already loaded with security, Pearl frowned. Maybe they didn't use the tunnels, or didn't have to, Jem frowned for shrugging. I'm going to see if I can call up Grian and see if he can come over. Bdubs, can you try to think of as many bases as you know of? I know one personally, Bdubs pointed out, shuddering as he said it, but Jem didn't seem to have heard him, as she disappeared into the kitchen. He shook his head as he tried to push back the memories, the redstone virus, of being injected with deadly liquid and forced to endure the pain as RJ loomed over him, eager to see the outcome, scratching a pen on paper as the man took notes, screaming. Bdubs? Pearl asked, putting down the brewing stand as she went over to him. Okay, just bad memories, he admitted quietly, smiling up at her. All right, she replied, returning the smile. You know you don't have to go back there, right? We don't know about where they could have been taken. We could take them, Bdubs admitted. For all we know, they took them to that place for experimentation. Pearl put a gentle hand on his shoulder. Whatever is going on, I'm sure they can get through it together. After all, they're pretty smart. If anyone escaped those men, it's them. He smiled and nodded. Yeah, you're probably right. She returned to smile once again, just as Jem re-entered the room. Two of them turned to face her as she sighed. Grian isn't feeling so well, so we're going to have to start with Adam, she replied calmly. You sure we can't go over there ourselves? Bdubs wondered. I would, but his escort strongly advised against it. He told us we could come back in a day or so when he gets better, she replied. I'm not going to wait that long. Not a chance, Bdubs agreed. I'm sure G will understand. We would. Pearl nodded. Besides, if he had an idea, he'd find a way to tell us. Mm-hmm. Jem nodded as she pulled out a piece of paper and a pen. Right, I hope you did your homework, Bdubs. Hermit laughed nervously. Yeah, I did my homework. He did his best to recall all the bases he was aware of, or mention the chords from the papers Jem had given him. He even told her where the base he'd been taken to was, something he'd requested once he'd recovered a bit. He still couldn't forget that place, knowing he was slowly dying as the men tested him. Didn't mention that though. He needed to. He needed to face this head on, in case his friends were there. He was worth it. And unfortunately, I'm going to be ending this video here. Yeah. I know you probably have questions, but just be patient with me, keep watching, and yeah, it will be explained. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you whenever that might be. Whether it be in the next episode or in a different video altogether.